Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, yeah. Woohoo! Welcome back.
Welcome.
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 Welcome, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Here comes game 2.
Alright. Alright, so, last game was a bit of a fail.
Oh, the game wasn't a fail. And not the overlays either. It was the screen region was a complete epic fail.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know how the hell that managed to happen, but it did. But we're past that. We're past that. And now we are on. Oh yeah. Now we are on to game 2. This is a best of 7.
Yep. Let's do it.
You know what? I totally thought that Kane was going to grab that game, but those freaking storms. Damn.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
Kane was playing really, really well the whole time, but then Saro just played well when he needed to. So that was it. Those screens were just GG no re. And we're getting ready to jump in here to game number 2.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, starting down here in the bottom left position. Oh wait, we gotta hit me up with that noise.
Oh, Mr. MaximusBlack.
Yep.
Hit me up with your best impersonation of my fail noise.
Your fail noise?
The one that we use in LAGTV.
Oh.
Hit me up with a noise! That was acceptable.
I can't go that low.
I'm surprised that we haven't actually changed that sound. That sound is like still on the old mic from your 3 computers back.
Hey, but that's all we need. It's
And
classic.
it still
right?
works.
You can't
You
change
can't mess
classic.
with that. You've messed
You know
that
what's
up
funny?
and-
Philip DeFranco used our fail sign and voice
What?
in one of his videos. You didn't know that?
Well, the PNG would be cool because that was just like a random fail sign thing.
Your voice.
But my voice
Your
is kind
voice.
of epic there.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I felt like just pulling a "you're gonna get sued" card.
No shout out on that.
Yeah, didn't give us a shout out.
That's rough.
Yeah, no link in the description to our channel, nothing, just straight up.
Damn.
Hit me up with that noise. Or no, it wasn't a hit me up, it was just a fail. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. I like
Philly
fails.
D.
It's all
I
good.
let you fill me in on the daily, and you're gonna go do me like that?
Anyhow, starting down here in the bottom left position of Daybreak, we got areaSaroVati. Sounds Italian.
Probably is.
And up here in the top right position, we have PulseKane. Mr. Kane.
Mr. Kane.
Remember when Kane first got introduced in WWE?
Yes.
As Undertaker's brother?
Yes, and he was the big red machine.
Yes. I was actually, don't ask me why, but I was tuned into wrestling last night. And
Really?
Kane is like a tag team champion with some douche that I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
Wrestling has just gone downhill, dude. It's just
Wrestling's
it's
not the
just-
same.
It's not the same. It's
Like
just,
2003 rolled around, and then it died.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
Hard. It made a brief comeback in 2005 with The Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18 or whatever, because that was an epic match. That was another one of those passing of the torch moments.
Same with The Rock and John Cena recently happened too. I think
Apparently
last year.
that was pretty epic.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because Rock is a performer. I mean, The Rock and Hulk Hogan were the 2 greatest performers in the ring for getting the crowd hype.
Yeah,
Like,
also-
there's no two
Okay,
ways
it
around
goes
that.
for my favorite wrestlers. I guess since we have time, and guys, areaSaro right now is just going forge fast
This is the
expand.
exact same thing we saw last game.
Yeah. And yeah, this is the exact same thing. We got some links coming up. But let's just not talk about StarCraft for a second. My 3 top favorite wrestlers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with number 1 being The Rock, obviously.
All right. Solid choice.
Then I'm gonna go with the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow, you are in a very thin field on that one.
Oh man, the Ultimate Warrior. And then I gotta go with Bret the Hitman Hart.
That's a good. He's in my top 3 too.
Bret the Hitman freaking Hart. I mean, there's a lot of classics,
Dude,
but
Bret Hart as an actual wrestler in terms of like his ability in the ring, even though it's all staged up,
yeah,
is like him and Shawn Michaels are the best. There's actually, that's it.
yep.
But
No,
my favorites, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Bret Hart are those
Man,
my
Hulk
top 3.
Hogan, going with the Hulkster it's just so generic, man.
But it's not. But he's the only reason wrestling got as big as it did.
I know, I know, but
He might be crazy. He might have done some weird crap. His
he just
family
recently
might be
did.
insane.
He just recently had a sex tape or some shit.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well.
And it was like he got up and you could see like his saggy ass. It was like his body's just murked.
Well, he's also had like 8,000 back surgeries. His knees are shot. Everything's blown.
Yeah.
His spine looks like somebody took a baseball bat to it. It's just not. He's having a bad time.
He's having a terrible time.
He went from like 6'7" to 6'3" because of how many surgeries and stuff he's had.
Sour about that.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate loss of height.
So
And hey,
guys,
look, it's
yeah.
the exact same thing we saw last game, so we still have more time to talk about nonsense. Here's some nonsense that's not nonsense. Welcome to the Frag for Charity Bell Alliant Fiber Op Fall Cup Starcraft 2 edition. League of Legends is also happening. It might even be happening at the same time as this. I'm not sure. I think it might be.
Whatever. We're
with
cooler.
Jarrett,
We're
with
cooler.
Jarrett Kale.
We're cooler. We're cooler.
Oh no, Jarrett Kale's pretty good.
Yeah,
though.
he's actually pretty cool.
Pure ownage. It's a
Yeah.
good time.
You know what? I feel really, really bad because I never actually watched that show, like when it was in its prime.
We just
But
watched the FPS Doug episode.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that was it.
yeah. That was it for me. But I recently, because I heard that they were working on like a new movie or something.
Yes, they're doing a new movie.
And then I went and watched a few other episodes, and you know, it's pretty funny.
it's a pretty good time.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time.
It is a pretty good time. They've done it. I watched I think 1 or 2 of the seasons.
It reminds
and
me of Trailer
I thought-
Park Boys, like, you know, one of
But
those
the
type
gamer
of-
edition.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
pretty cool. So it looks like we are going to see a third going down here for Saro.
Uncontested this time by the looks of it. We don't have any lings or roaches on the way. The roach warren is only about halfway done, just under for Pulse.
Yep.
And so this is going to be a much less aggressive game by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like Kane here is just doing a little bit more of a laid back. Although, you know, last game he was pretty laid back too, but he did apply some pressure with some lings.
Much closer in worker count this time around.
Oh yeah, much closer, and mainly because Saro isn't really dealing with any type of you know, aggression or anything like that. And also on a map like Daybreak, it is, in my books, a lot easier to grab a third than would be on like Ohana if you didn't kill those rocks. Because
Exactly.
you know, Ohana is a really good map for Protoss, and you know, it's kind of weird that, you know, Saro really struggled quite a bit
In the beginning,
in the
yeah.
beginning to mid game, but once again hitting those storms and just ending it right there
That
was
was-
absolutely, you know, there's 2 squirts of jizz that came out.
Only 2?
2.
Almost 3?
Yeah.
Almost 3? Like a halvesy?
Yeah, it was
Are
like
those roaches or zerglings that we see there?
where?
Right there.
Those are links.
Zerglings. So we're waiting. These are going to be more scouting than anything. They're not going to get too much accomplished. They might be
Well,
able
that's
to
what
take
that's
out
what we thought last time, and then
Well,
these
there's no
are-
rocks
I
this
know,
time
I
around.
know, I
But
know.
yeah, still, you know, he might be able to. He might even get a free sentry kill if he's lucky. He might get rid of the stalker, but no, he's going to go back here and
He still doesn't have
poke around.
yeah, he doesn't have link speed yet. It's about to finish up here in about 10 seconds. If it was finished, he would have been able to pick off that stalker, no problem. There is the 4th now for Kane.
Moving forward with this
Macro
base.
hatch as well, double evo chamber, and just some more upgrades. Layer tech is all finished up, and there is the infestation pit. So we're going to see some infestors very soon, and most likely just going to be teching right into broodlords again.
Yeah, no, this is going to be basically the exact same thing as we saw last time. Of course, this time being much less aggressive on both sides. Neither one of them really interested in harassing, more interested in just getting up their tech as fast as possible. Saro is going to be much more prepared this time around to deal with the first couple of attacks, and Pulse is going to have a little bit of a harder time because he hasn't slowed his opponent down as much as he did before.
Yeah, no, I feel like Saro is definitely in a much better position than he was last game. But, you know, he's also letting the Zerg do a lot too.
Well, of course,
he's, you know, you don't want to let a Zerg sit there and get broodlords without doing some sort of, you know, aggression or anything like that. Even grabbing a warp prism and using it just to fly around. Even if you don't plan on doing anything with it, you can really
him on his
control.
toes.
You can really control where Kane's units are going. Like
And
just
what units he builds.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can even force him to put down a bunch of spore crawlers and whatnot. But one thing that you got to take notice, if you do decide to go with some sort of warp prism harassment, or if you really want to just float around with a warp prism to kind of scare off your opponent, you're also going to make it so that Kane is going to chuck down those spore crawlers and stuff. So if you wanted to possibly do a DT charge lot drop in to try and pick off, you know, the Greater Spire, or maybe an infestation pit or something like that, you might actually make it a little bit harder for yourself down the road because he's already prepared for it. Mainly not for that specific reason, but for that warp prism, and then it'll cause you a little bit of trouble down the road.
Yeah, you got to be careful with just what you force your opponent into based on what you want to do down the road. No question about that. We're going to have a couple of nice force fields. Might get a ling or two. Nope, doesn't manage to pull anything out of that. Pulse wants to be careful here.
Oh,
Bring
there's the
Infestors down.
Infestors.
That's going to help do some more, but
And his
nice
units-
force field.
His units are clumped up, and there's no fungal so far, but a lot of infested Terrans. Barely any energy left on those sentries. The Immortals are nicely protected in behind, but everything gets decimated in seconds. And here comes Kane with just this infested Terran Roach Ling push, and I don't know if Saro is going to be able to hold this at him.
No, it's actually looking really badly. There's something I want to point out now that I'm not used to seeing, mostly because we cover such lower games. Oh, this is going to be free. It's
Yep.
all free in this game, probably.
Yep.
But is that when you normally see some lower level Zerg players and they're going the Infestors and they get hit with those force fields and the units are split up, they never think to throw the Infested Terrans over the force fields.
Yep.
And that's actually what won him the battle there. That was it, and it's what won him the game inevitably. And so we're seeing caster units in one-off scenarios being the decisive action for both of these gentlemen. The first time around, we saw the High Templar, of course, with the most epic storms known to man. And this time around, we're seeing the Infestors tossing those infested Terrans over the force field wall, which is, really difficult to deal with. You have to back up immediately. And if you're not careful, you get caught like that, you lose your all of your important upfront units. The Immortals went down, and that was GG.
Yeah, we're looking at a 1-1 now in this series. We're going to be going into Game 3 in just a couple of moments, guys. We're going to run a song and play some ads.
Music!
If you guys have ad block, at least for this stream, please turn it off. All proceeds are going to charity, and it's going to a great cause. So if you cannot afford to do a small chip-in of $1, $5, $10, whatever, do your part by holy sweet tits. The game is starting by itself.
What the... No. Wow, that might have been aggressive. Logging out, but it worked. Why is the stream lagging so much? Because we're streaming at 6,000 kbs, and you're probably you probably have a bad connection to the Twitch server. Not a bad internet connection, just to the Twitch server. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Donate if you can. We're trying to get that number up to $3,000 tonight. Join us as we kick cancer in the balls.